Every kid dreams of having that walk-off Game 7 moment in sports, whether that be hitting that last-second home run to win the World Series, winning a Hail Mary or the game-winning kick in the Super Bowl, or that last-second buzzer-beater shot in the NBA Finals. This is NASCAR's version of a Game 7. Welcome to the Phoenix International Raceway for the running of the Checker Auto Parts 500 Elimination Sunday, by the way, or Elimination Friday, technically, where last time out, Dylan Murray edged out Ricky Rudd to make his way into the championship 4. And drivers to watch, drivers that are in, Sterling Marlin and Dale Jr. are the last two that are in on points. The 4 drivers that we have to watch today, Mark Martin, Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson, and Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch has not qualified very well in these past 2 races and not ran very well. He needs to win to make it into the championship 4. In Junior, he has a 4-point gap over Mark Martin, and 7 back to Harvick, and 11 over Jimmy Johnson. Kurt Busch is in the cellar. Let's go to Phoenix, shall we? Phoenix International Raceway has different degrees of banking in the corners. 9 degrees to 11, depending on where you run. The winner's purse pays a pretty hefty $213,000 to the winner. The seating capacity, 76,812 people jam this 1 mile facility every year. And the very first race was held in 1988, won by Alan Kowicki. Track record was set in November of 2000 by Rusty Wallace. Player record was set in January of 2019 by Jeff Gordon. The player record was set in January of 2019 by Jeff Gordon. This is very different to the modern Phoenix. First off, the front stretch is actually straight, not at a curve. You want to arc that. Your car will step wide in turn 2. There used to be a layout. There used to be a wall that juts out, but it was fixed in 2003 for the 2003 season due to a death of a driver who hit that wall, that area on the backstretch. So coming to the green, that put us 13th. So, well, that went on. We'll see how this lap goes here. Last time we were at a 1 mile racetrack was back at New Hampshire, and Dylan Murray dominated that race, leading the entire caution-free affair and lapping the entire field. So this qualifying run will put us P11. Reminder, 2 playoff drivers are already locked into Miami, Jeff Gordon and Dylan Murray. Who will join them today?
Joe Moore and Bonnie Hall from the beautiful Arizona desert at the 1 mile Phoenix International Raceway for today's Checker Auto Parts 500K. What sets this track apart? It does make this race stuff close and turns in the frame. The wide track is pretty fast. Some even call it the world's fastest 1 mile oval. We could get our share of some exciting action out there on the track today. Jimmy Berry hasn't made much of a move in points so far. Her guys have been working so hard this year. Shane has done a great show in points. It seems they can't keep that car out of trouble on race day. Maybe they're looking to change today. The FBNA car has a string of top 5s going. Well, let me tell you something, Joe. You're throwing a couple of wins to go along with those top 5s, and all of a sudden you're in the hunt for the championship. We really haven't seen a good finish this season from Casey Edgewood.
Yeah, I have been surprised to see him run so poorly on these tracks. I can only imagine how it feels.
Gentlemen, start your engine. Starting out front are the Chevrolet and the top leaders UAW Dodge. Starting row 2 will be the 27 car and the Fan Racing Dodge. In row 3 are the Trusty Ford and the Interstate Batteries Pontiac. In row 4 are the Walk Power Tools Ford and the GM Goodrich Service Plus Chevrolet. Rounding out the top 10 starting spots are the America Online Chevrolet and the 46 car. The 6th row has a MD&A car and the Mark Martin Ford. Jeff Gordon, the NASCAR Winstonville points leader, will start towards the front. In the 8th row are the Pennzoil Chevrolet and the 63 car. In the 9th row, we have the Ganassi Racing Dodge and the Dale Jr. Chevrolet. In the 10th row are the Alltel Ford and the UPS Ford. Starting the race from row 11 are the Target Dodge and the 37 car. The 12th row has the Spread Dodge and the Howard Ford. Starting the race from row 13 will be the 97 car and the Home Depot Pontiac. In row 14 we have the Simcoe Ford and the Photograph Ford. Starting from row 15 will be the Sirius Satellite Radio Dodge and the UAW Delphi Chevrolet. In the 16th row are the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet and the Kellogg Chevrolet. In the 17th row are the Valvoline Pontiac and the 22 car. In the 18th row are the 26 car and the M&M's Pontiac. Starting the race from row 19 are the Singular Martha Chevrolet and the Tide Ford. The 20th row has the 16 car and the Square D Chevrolet. Starting the race from row 21 will be the Kodak Chevrolet and 43 car.
Oh my God.
And finally, starting from the rear of the field will be the 98 car.
98 laps today here at the Phoenix International Raceway, but I guarantee you those 98 laps are going to fly by pretty fast here in the Checker Auto Parts 500. Jimmy Johnson is below the cut line. Could we see the two rookies in the championship four? You're about to find out. Pace car is off, 78 laps. We're underway at Phoenix. Jimmy Johnson escapes the chaos early here on lap 1. He will lead the first lap with Jamie McMurray in second, Rusty Wallace third, Dylan Murray trying to take fourth from Bill Elliott. And within 2 laps, Dylan Murway closes to the back bumper of Jimmy Johnson and will take the top spot here. New leader at Phoenix. And here comes Johnson charging back in the outside lane. And he looks like he may get the spot. Nope. Crosses over, back into turn 3. Jimmy Johnson all over that 121. He's going to have to get physical here if he wants a shot. Dylan Murway lets up. Jimmy gets the line. Put Jimmy back to the point. New leader at Phoenix. Oh, Kenseth gets loose. And here's Rusty. Those two have a bit of an ugly history. See the Daytona Roval earlier this season. But donut marks on that too. Dylan Murway continues to fall back to the 3rd position. Dylan Murway knocking Rusty out of the way. And there goes Rusty around. Caution is out. We're on lap 7. Johnson will take the caution flag with the early lead. The Checker Auto Parts 500. Just a lone spin into the grass for Rusty Wallace. Guess who I was bringing into? Pace car is off. Green flag back into the air. Wallace to the early lead. Jimmy to the lead. Jimmy gets way out front. Here comes Dylan on that outside lane. Hopefully we'll get back to green, get a little bit of racing in. Dylan is all over that 48. 8 car, though. Dylan comes back under the 48. He will take the spot. And Dylan goes wide. Here comes Kenseth to the lead. New leader at Phoenix, the 17 car. And, Kenseth gets into the wall, gets into Jimmy. And Dylan continues to advance out front. Is Jimmy Johnson, Dylan Murway fighting for the early lead here at Phoenix. Jimmy Johnson comes back. Still side by side here at Phoenix. This is dangerous for Jimmy. He's below that cut line. Him and Dylan are racing each other incredibly hard early on. Because we could see, even though we may see 2 rookies in the championship 4. That ought to be an interesting dynamic. And looks like Dylan will lay off and save his stuff with Kenseth. And Dillon will tug in behind Kenseth. Here comes Murway. Cross Kenseth for the lead. For second, Johnson is your leader going into turn 3. And Kenseth will go around here in turn 3. Or turn 1, I'm sorry. And it looks like it might be a single car incident. Race back to the caution flag. And that will be it. But let them race back here. Be clean and green. Single car incident for Kenseth. There's another car that did kiss the wall. Dave's car is off. Jimmy Johnson leads him down. Great flag back into the air at Phoenix. Bobby Labonte, Jeff Green, and Jeff Gordon are the top 5. And Dillon went wide again. This time Green trying to force it. No, Gordon forces it 3 wide with Green. Gordon will take the spot. And, Gordon gets tipped. It's hit hard, too. Really unclear why he hit the brakes going into 3. He had that angle he did. Moved Dillon up to 3rd. And Dillon continued to close in on Labonte for 2nd. The green 18 Pontiac, he was eliminated back at Bristol, the round of 16. Along with his teammate Tony Stewart. Labonte crosses low. And, wow. Tough landing for him and Dillon. A lot of damage to that 121. Hopefully that doesn't cause a yellow. Dillon in 2nd. Crosses across Labonte's bumper. And here comes Dylan Murway setting his sights on the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. Three cars within a blanket here. Dylan Murway is the closest to do anything to Johnson. Crosses under Jimmy for the lead, maybe. Still side by side. This is some great racing early on between these two. Johnson is going to get the spot. Nope, Dillon gets into Jimmy. Jimmy loses a lot of time here going into turn 1. Ryan Newman has made his way up to the 4th spot ahead of Jeff Gordon. That's another thing we have to note, too. And meanwhile, out front, Dylan Murway leads, but Johnson could get this spot. And looks like he might. Still neck and neck off 4 at the line. Johnson with that barely led that lap. They're going to give it to him here in turn 1. And Bobby Labonte will go around. Almost gets hit by Newman. Goodness gracious. Yellow flag number 3 on the day. Wow, just missed. Oh, Junior. Junior is in it. Junior T-bones Labonte in a hard crash, and that might be it for his playoff hopes. Big moment here. For Junior. Junior has no place to go. Slams into the side of the 18 car. We'll see how much damage, but that looks big on that 8 car. Pace car is off. Jimmy Johnson leads him down. Green flag back into the air. So with Junior out of the race, by the looks of it, Junior is eliminated from the playoffs. That moves Kurt Busch even closer. And that means Jimmy Johnson, with him leading, he is the last driver in the championship 4 with Sterling Marlin. Here comes Dillon getting by Craven and Labonte. Takes hit, both of them 3 wide. So it is official. Dale Jr. has retired from this race, and he is out of the Winston Cup playoffs. So the 3 drivers that are trying to get into the championship 4 now to unseat Jimmy Johnson are Mark Martin, Kevin Harvick. Oh, we got a crash. Waldrop gets in toward Burton. No yellow. So, and it's the 3 that we have to watch. Mark Martin, Kurt Busch, and Kevin Harvick are the 3 drivers that need to get into the championship 4. Dillon really charged that corner. My goodness. And he's really charging on them. Got a few more cars coming down the pit lane. There's Dillon. He's just using up the competition here. Solid run for Kevin Harvick today in 8th. He is currently 3 back from Martin. Or he is the first out. So if Jimmy were to have a problem and we were to get a repeat winner and non-chaser to win this race, then Harvick would be in. And what a story that would be. Pretty much anybody in this Final 4 right now, what a story. You got Dylan Murway, the young kid from Greeley, Colorado, fighting for a Winston Cup championship. You got Jeff Gordon trying to make the drive for 5 and put himself in some elite air. 2 away from Richard Petty and the late Dale Earnhardt. As this is the Final Four as of right now. You got Sterling Marlin, who is looking for his first Winston Cup championship to his name after being close in 2001. You also got Jimmy Johnson, the kid that Jeff Gordon actually brought on. Him and Rick Hendrick recruited him from the Busch Series to drive the 48 car, and with the record 3 wins this season, one of which advanced him to the round of 8, he's got a bright future ahead for him. But what about some of the other stories? You got Mark Martin, who's constantly been snookered in the playoffs before, notably coming second to Dale Earnhardt in 1990 after an early season penalty. You got Kevin Harvick, especially. He's probably the biggest story of them all, because how fitting would it be to be called up from the minor leagues to replace the shoes of a legend, and a year later immediately be in contention for a Winston Cup championship? Or if you want another feel-good story, how about Kurt Busch? Just think, 5 years ago, the kid was stocking shelves at the King Soopers. Got called up to drive the 97 in 2001. Had Sharpie and Rubbermaid sign on to sponsor him this season. And if he wins today, having a shot to compete for a championship in his first full season, man, wouldn't that be something? That wouldn't be something, huh? Long green flag run here in the Checker Arm Parts 500. We've ran probably the first 15 or so laps. Really, the only other thing that's happened, we've had a couple cars come down pit road. But other than that, it's been the Dylan Murway, Jimmy Johnson show here at Phoenix, with Kenseth leading for a lap and more like 500 feet. And probably the biggest story of the day, Dale Jr. and Bobby Labonte getting into a crash on the backstretch, eliminating Jr. from the playoffs. Tough day for him. Dylan continuing to charge in to put down some pretty fast laps here at Phoenix. Got cars coming down pit road. There are a few more. Looks like we might see green flag pit stops. We saw 3 cars coming down now. Or more like 5 or 6. As Dylan Murray continues to lap the field and put more cars a lap down. And I mean, he is just putting on a clinic right now. We've had 4 cautions up to this point today here at Phoenix. Obviously, Dylan Murray came in pitted way early than anybody else expected, which I guess could work in his favor. We'll see how that plays out. Got one car leaving the track leaving pit road up ahead. That is the 21 of Sadler. And Dylan Murray continues to just straight up dominate this race. As, Casey Kane and John Andretti getting into the grass off of 2 there. Continuing to lap up that field. So, 30 laps to go here in the Checker Auto Parts 500. Dylan Murray has settled into a nice rhythm here. He's got a large lead. Ryan Newman, is in second. And if you want to talk leads, take a look at this. How far ahead Ryan Newman is, or far back. Granted, it's 5 seconds, but it could be 5 seconds that could determine who wins this race and who makes it into the championship 4. 28 laps complete. We're still halfway through this long run here, which is still going on. We haven't seen a lot of tire issues today in particular. Ryan Newman still 6 seconds back. There are only 2 cars out of the race that we know of. That is Earnhardt Jr. obviously in the 8, and Andretti will go around. Caution flag waves again. His car is off. Wow, this is huge. 3 chasers on the inside are a lap down. Jeff Gordon, granted, it doesn't really change anything a whole lot that Gordon's a lap down. But Jimmy Johnson and Ryan Newman, Sterling Marlin are a lap down. Definitely an unexpected twist there. So with Dylan leading, Dylan Murray and Jeff Gordon are obviously advanced. There's no doubt there. Kurt Busch is 8th. Kurt Busch is the 3rd highest driver now. And the last guy in would be Jimmy Johnson, who is 1 point back from Sterling Marlin, but that looks to change here. Then you got Kevin Harvick, Sterling Marlin, Mark Martin, Kevin Harvick, and Dale Earnhardt Jr., but Jr. obviously is retired from the race. Dylan crashes on the front stretch. And a big mess. Cars stacking up just past the start-finish line. Jimmy Johnson pinches Dylan, comes across the nose of Robbie Gordon. Kyle Petty gets a piece of it. This is huge. Jeremy Mayfield somehow is the only other car involved. So this is huge here. Half the field a lap down, half the field on the lead lap. This definitely worked into Jimmy's favor. Green flag back into the air. Dylan Murway taking it 3 wide with Bobby Hamilton and Terry Labonte under attack with Gordon for 17th. And out front it is Ryan Newman leading this race, the late stages of this one. There's a line damage to the 26 of Todd Bodine. Skinner in the 4. Remember that Morgan McClure will be going to a Pontiac for 2003. Keyword, these are all rumors. Nothing has been confirmed yet. But Morgan McClure will be going to a Pontiac body for the 2003 season. Season on the line for quite a few drivers, especially a guy like Kurt Busch, who we came into this race, we were talking he needs a win. If he wants to keep his championship hopes alive. Dylan Murway just edged his way through the pack. He's up in 8th right now. Running that field down. And Benson hard in the wall there off of 4. Wow. Dylan is just closing this gap. He went a little wide. And here's Benson on the outside, or inside, I'm sorry. And that almost was big. Look at Dylan almost wrecking. Wow. Off of 4. 3 wide there, and Kenseth spins. And a big pile up behind them. Kenseth, Ward Burton, Steve Park. Did any chasers get a piece of that? We are at the 10 to go mark. Well, we weren't there. It'll be 10 to go now. I'm sorry. We were at the 10 to go mark. There's Dylan Murway basically moving his way through this pack. As of right now, did that get any chase drivers? I'm curious. That last wreck? Kenseth, Ward Burton, Steve Park. Kevin Harvick and Mark Martin are 2 laps down. So they're pretty much out of it. Only got Ward Burton and John Andretti. Wow. 9 to go. Meanwhile, out front, it is Ryan Newman and Jeff Burton leading this race. Jeff Burton, unfortunately, made it into the playoffs, but was eliminated in the first round. And Kurt Busch will go around in turn 4 and into his teammate. And Kurt Busch's playoff hopes are now gone. So now the battle will come down after this incident. Oof, big lick. Kenseth, Kurt Busch, Bobby Labonte. Kenseth gets into the 97. And Labonte somehow got jacked up in that. Five to go. So Kurt Busch, as of right now, where's Kurt Busch at? So this battle right now could be between Marlin, Johnson, and Kurt Busch. They are all on the same lap. But it looks like Jimmy Johnson and Sterling Marlin could be in the championship 4 unless anything big were to happen. Ryan Newman on his way to his second win of the season to possibly become the first non-Chevrolet driver since the Daytona Sandy Beach course to win a race this season after the Chevrolet chokehold on the playoffs, or on races this season, going back to the Daytona road course. Three laps to go at the line here. Then Newman, Burton, Waltrip, Green, and Jarrett are the top 5 with 3 to go. Ryan Newman is 3 laps away from his second win this season. He got into the chase back at Watkins Glen when he had that controversial finish. Hopefully it'll be nice enough for him to win a race under Green. As they come out of turn 2. What a drive, though, and what an interesting set of events that took place previously with Kurt Busch. Meanwhile, we've watched the battle between Busch, Johnson, Harvick, and Marlin. Johnson and Marlin. Further back, the white flag waves. Last lap at Phoenix. Got a piece of debris. There is a car that hit it. Looks like 9 of Nadu. And Jarrett will get turned around on the backstretch. The race is official. They are racing back no matter what. Ryan Newman will win today here at Phoenix. Dylan Murway comes across 4th.
And we'll look at scoring to see who makes it into the playoffs.
We sure saw a lot of yellow flags.
Well, lots of cautions usually mean only one thing: a lot of damaged race cars. I know the teams aren't happy about that.
The MBNA car didn't finish where he had hoped, due in part to the damage on his car, I'm sure.
Yeah, you can't expect a good finish when you don't take care of your car. Sometimes that's easier said than done in this series. There are certain times when you just have no place to go.
This is Joe Moore for Barney Hall saying thanks for joining us for today's NASCAR Winston Cup race. We'll see you next week at Homestead.
Ryan Newman is the car that crashed. That was Dale Jarrett that got turned around on the backstretch. Flipping around there on there. There might have just been a single car deal. So Ryan Newman wins today at Phoenix. Jeff Burton finishes 2nd. Jeff Green 3rd. Dylan Murway 4th. Jerry Nadeau 5th, Michael Waltrip 6th, Jeremy Mayfield 7th, Tony Stewart 8th, Steve Park 9th, and Jeff Gordon will round out the top 10. Ryan Newman bags $213,000 with his win today. We've had 7 caution flags for 13 laps, 8 lead changes amongst 3 drivers. Average speed, 76 miles an hour. Margin to victory, 1 full second. So, the battle between Marlon Johnson and Kurt Busch. Jimmy Johnson gets in, and Kurt Busch edges out Sterling Marlin by 2 points to get into the championship 4 after a late accident. Mark Martin, Kevin Harvick, Sterling Marlin, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. will not advance to the championship 4. So again, Dylan Murray, Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, and Kurt Busch will be the 4 drivers competing for a championship at Homestead. The drivers that did not advance, I'm going to type these in now. If my computer will let me. Earnhardt Jr., Mark Martin, Kevin Harvick, and Sterling Marlin. Will not advance to Homestead. Now, how Homestead will work, I'll explain this format now. Once I save. Shit, wrong. There. Okay, good. All right. So, if you're any of those 4 drivers in the championship, points don't matter. The highest of the first of those 4 that are across the start-finish line will be the new Winston Cup champion for 2002. Will it be Jeff Gordon going for his 5th? Could it be Dylan Murray earning his 1st? Will it be Jimmy Johnson, the guy that Jeff Gordon hand-selected to drive the 48 car? Or will it be Kurt Busch, the kid that shot from the Truck Series to the Cup Series almost overnight, winning a title for the Cat in the Hat? You're about to find out very shortly.